Hello my dear friends, welcome to my channel pscinfotech. Today I am going to share top 100 JavaScript interview questions and answers with you. These questions are divided in two sections. In section 1, questions are concept based, like what is JavaScript, why we use JavaScript, etc. In section 2, questions are output based, like what is the output of below program and why. You must prepare these interview questions and answers before go to any interview. Now let's start with question number 1. What is JavaScript? JavaScript is a lightweight interpreted scripting language. It runs on the client browser. JavaScript can update and change both HTML and CSS. JavaScript can calculate, manipulate and validate data. A web page has three things: HTML, CSS and JavaScript. HTML is used for design the page. CSS is used for look and feel in the page. JavaScript is used for write your logic. In simple word, we say that JavaScript is used for creating dynamic web pages. What is interpreted language? Interpreted language is a scripting language. It executes instructions directly from start to end without compiling a program into machine language instructions. The interpreter reads each statement of code and then convert or execute it directly as an output. So interpreter basically accepts source code and directly show the output in the browser. What is scripting language? Scripting language is a kind of programming language. The scripting language is basically a language where instructions are written for a runtime environment. It has a series of commands that executes on the client browser without being compiled. So example of scripting languages are JavaScript, VBScript, Node.js, Ruby, etc. What is the difference between scripting language and programming language? Programming language are compiled. It needs compiler to compile the code. Programming language creates binary files or executable files and memory will be allocated. Example of programming language are C, C++, Java, C#, etc. Scripting language. Scripting language are interpreted. No need of compiler to compile the code. Scripting language does not create any binary files or executable files and no memory will be allocated. Example of scripting language are JavaScript, VBScript, Perl, Python, etc. Where does JavaScript code runs? JavaScript code runs on web browser. A browser or web browser is an application which accessing information on the web. Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge, Firefox, Safari, etc. are example of web browsers. A web browser or a web page has three things: HTML, CSS or JavaScript. HTML is used for design the page. CSS is used for look and feel in the page. JavaScript is used for write your logic. What are the advantages of using JavaScript? The main advantages of JavaScript are speed. JavaScript is very fast because it runs directly in the web browser. Simplicity. JavaScript is simple to learn and implement. Popularity. JavaScript is used everywhere on the web. Google, Amazon, PayPal, etc. use JavaScript as a tool. Interoperability. JavaScript plays nicely with other programming languages and can be used in a huge variety of applications. Server load. JavaScript operates on the client side. Data validation is possible on the browser itself rather than sending it off to the server. Richer interfaces. JavaScript provides various interfaces to developer for creating catchy web pages. Drag and drop components or slides may give a rich interface to the web pages. JavaScript is capable of front-end as well as back-end development. Back-end development uses Node.js while many libraries help in front-end development like Angular, React.js, etc. What are the disadvantages of JavaScript? Client-side security. JavaScript code is visible to everyone. Others may use it for malicious purpose. Browser support. Different browsers interpret JavaScript differently. The older browsers does not support some new functions and we need to check them as well. Rendering stopped. A single code error can stop the rendering of the entire JavaScript code on the website. Lack of debugging facility. Though some HTML editors support debugging, it is not as efficient as other editors like C++ editors. Also, as the browser does not show any error, it is difficult for the developer to detect the problem. Single inheritance. JavaScript only supports single inheritance and not multiple inheritance. Some programs may require this object-oriented language characteristic. What are the differences between Java and JavaScript? Java is object-oriented programming language. It has file extension .java. It can run on any virtual machine or browser. It requires entire JDK to write a program. JavaScript is object-based scripting language. It has file extension .js. It runs on the browser. It requires only text editor. So we write our entire code in text editor and display on browser. What is the use of console.log method in JavaScript? All modern browsers have a web console for debugging. The console.log method is used to write message to this console. The console.log method is useful for testing purpose. The syntax of console.log method is console.log. Inside log method we write our message. So example, console.log welcome to pscinfotech. Console.log 2 plus 5 it's display 7. Console.log 1 triple equal to 1 it's so true. So see here we have just print the output message here in our console. So first display welcome to pscinfotech. Second display 2 plus 5 equal to 7. Third display 1 double equals 1 it is true. 1 triple equal to string 1 it's false because 1 is integer type and right side 1 is string type. So data is same, value is same but data type is not same, so it's display false value. So we can easily check different value using this one. What are the different way to display data in JavaScript? JavaScript can display data in different ways. Writing into the HTML output using document.write method, writing into an alert box using alert method, writing into an HTML element using inner HTML method, writing into the browser console using console.log method. Remember, console.log always display data in console window. So see, I have used two p tag. One p tag has id my id and second p tag has id my id1. So I have used document.get element by id my id. It's display welcome to pscinfotech, and second get element by id I have so my id1 dot inner HTML I have written 5 plus 7 it's display 12, and alert box so welcome to pscinfotech, and also I have written document.write welcome to pscinfotech. So these are the output type we have used. What are the different data types in JavaScript? Different data types in JavaScript are primitive type and non-primitive types. Primitive types data type can store only a single value. So example of primitive data types are number, boolean, string, null, undefined. Non-primitive data types. It store multiple and complex values. Example, object. It is used to store collection of data. Object store data in key value pair. So in this example where my obj equal to here first x is key and 43 is value, y is key and hello world is value. So jet return the output this dot x, so it's written 43 as an output. What is the difference between undefined and null? Undefined and null both are data types in JavaScript. Undefined means a variable declared but no value has been assigned. For example, where my object. So in I have declared it but not assigned any value. So console.log it's written undefined. Null is an assignment value. You can assign it to a variable. For example, where my obj equal to null, console.write, it's return null value. So I have assigned null value, so it's return null value. Remember that define explicit empty to a variable, we use null on that variable. How to create a variable in JavaScript? Creating a variable in JavaScript is called declaring a variable. Use var keyword to create any type of variable. Based on the value assigned, the type of variable is defined internally. After the declaration, the variable has no value, so it's undefined. So in this example, where it's undefined. Now I am assigning it in pscinfotech. So now its final output is pscinfotech. Now second example, where my obj equal to null. So I am assigning null value, so it's written empty. So my obj is empty now. Why JavaScript is dynamic type language? JavaScript data type are converted automatically as needed during script execution. In below example, in my variable, we first storing a number and then string. So in this example, my variable, I have assigning value 100, so it's written 100. So 100 is a number, so it's written number value. Now in my variable, I am assigning Raman, which is string. So now it's written, my variable return Raman as an output. What are the comments in JavaScript? Comments are used to read and understand code in better manner. So always try to write comments, valid comments in your code. So there are two types of comment in JavaScript: single line comment and multi-line comment. So single line comment, you have write comment in one line. Multi-line comment, you have write long comment in multiple lines. Is JavaScript case sensitive? Yes, JavaScript is a case sensitive language. Variable names, method names, object properties and event handlers all are case sensitive. So all methods are start in a small letter. Where should the script tag be placed in the HTML page? The old approach to solve this problem was to put script tag either in head section or body section. There was a problem using this approach. The browser will not start downloading script until DOM is passed. To resolve this problem, modern browsers support async attribute on script tag. It allows the browser to download the script without blocking DOM parsing. How to print hello world in JavaScript? There are mainly three ways to print: document.write method, console.log method, alert method. So document.write method, it's write output in web browser. In console.log, write output in console window. In alert method, it's display output in a dialog box. What is document.write method in JavaScript? This method is used to display a given text in a web page. When document.write is executed after the page load, it will erase all the content in the web page and only show the text inside in this method. So first example, give me the output welcome to pscinfotech. Second example, it's give me the output 10 plus 20 equal to 30. Third example, give me output true. Why? Because 5 equal, it's check the value. So 5 equal to 5. So it's written true. Example 4, it's written false. Why? 5 triple equal to string 5. Basically 5 is a number type and string 5 is string type. So data type are different, but data are same, but data type are different. One is number and second is string. That's why it's written false. What are undeclared and undefined variables? Undeclared variables do not exist in a program. These variables are not declared. If we try to read the value of these variables, then the browser throws error. Undefined variables. These variables are declared in the program without any value. If we try to read these undefined values, it returns undefined value. What are the difference between undeclared, undefined and null? Undeclared variables does not exist. Undefined variables exist but does not have anything assigned to them. Null variables exist with null values. Why 20 plus 10 is 2010, not 30? Since 20 is a string value, 10 is a integer value, so there must be some rule. So rule number 1, string value plus integer value, it's a concatenation operation. String value plus string value, it's a concatenation operation. Integer value plus integer value, it is a addition of two numbers. So as per rule 1, JavaScript converts the numeric value to a string and perform concatenation. So 20 plus 10 equal to 2010. What is the output of 20 minus 10? Rule 1, string value plus integer value, it's perform concatenation operation. String value plus string value, it's perform concatenation operation. Integer value plus integer value, it's perform addition operation. String value minus integer value, it's perform subtraction. If you use a minus operator, numeric value is not converted to string. So the output is 20 minus 10 is 10. What are the different pop-up message box in JavaScript? JavaScript provides three different built-in functions to display pop-up message for different purpose. Alert box is used to display a simple message. Confirm box is used to display a message and take user's confirmation on it. Prompt box is used to display a pop-up to take a user input value. What is inline JavaScript code? Inline JavaScript code store on the HTML page. We will write our complete JavaScript logic in HTML page. This is bad approach. Maintenance the code is very difficult in this approach. Suppose we have to use 1000 HTML pages. So if we implement any logic, then we have to write the code in 1000 places. So this is very difficult to manage our application. What is external JavaScript code? External JavaScript code store on separate JS file. We will write our complete JavaScript logic in separate JavaScript file. This is good approach. Maintain the code is very easy in this approach. Suppose we use 1000 HTML pages and we write our logic in a single page and we implement this single logic in entire application using this external JavaScript reference. What are the advantages of external JavaScript over inline JavaScript? The main advantages of external JavaScript over inline JavaScript are maintainability. External JavaScript file referenced on multiple pages in the application. For any change, you can change it only one place. Inline JavaScript duplicate the code on your every page. Using external JavaScript code, maintenance will be much easier. Separation of concerns. It is always a good practice to separate HTML, CSS and JavaScript as it makes it easier work with them. Also allow multiple developers to work simultaneously. So one developer work on HTML file, second developer work on CSS file, third developer work on JavaScript file. So it's maintain very easily our whole application. Performance. External JavaScript file can be cached by the browser, where as a inline JavaScript on the page, it load every time the page loads. Why we need both client-side and server-side validation? Client-side validation can easily bypass by disabling JavaScript on a client browser. If we have disabled JavaScript on the client browser and we don't have any server-side validation, run the application and click the submit button without filling any data. Notice that an empty row is inserted into table. This is because client-side validation is bypassed as we have disabled JavaScript, and we also don't have any server-side validation method that validates the form. This is the main reason why we always write both client-side and server-side validation code. So server-side validation should always be there, irrespective of whether we have client-side validation or not. Is it mandatory for a JavaScript statement to end with a semicolon? No, semicolon is not mandatory for a JavaScript statement at the end, but it is a good practice to use semicolon to avoid the ambiguity between different codes. In the both JavaScript code below will work perfectly. What are the difference between double equals and triple equals in JavaScript? Double equals check contents are equal or not of both values. Triple equals check contents as well as type of both values are same or not. Explain pass by value in JavaScript. In JavaScript, primitive data types are passed by value. Let's understand with an example. Example, var y equal to 234, var z equal to y. Memory allocation, var y points to a address of the value 234, var z equal to y, var z equal to address 5411, z points to a completely new address for the value 234. Now if we change the value of y to 23, so value of y is changed. Now if we write console.log z, so it is written 234. Why? Because z points to a new address in the memory, so change in y will not affect on z. So y value is changed to 23, but z remains same 234. Explain pass by reference in JavaScript. In JavaScript, non-primitive data types are passed by reference. Let's understand with an example. Var obj, name Anmol, surname Singh, var obj2 equal to obj. The reference of the variable obj is passed to the variable obj2. Var obj has memory address 8711. obj2 equal to obj. Var obj2 has same memory address 8711. obj2 points to the same memory address. Now change the value of obj. So obj.name equal to Isan. Now console.log obj2, it's return name equal to Isan and surname equal to Singh. Since both the variable are pointing to the same address, so both have the same return the same value. obj has same value and obj1 has same value. What are the different methods to convert string to numbers? Following functions are used to convert string to numbers. ParseInt. The parseInt function parse a string and return an integer value. So console.log parseInt string 10, it's written 10 as a numeric value. Parsefloat. The parsefloat function parses a string and return a floating point number. So console.log parsefloat string 10.33, it's written 10.33 as a floating number. IsNone. IsNone method returns true if value is not a number. The IsNone method converts the value to a number before testing it. So, how to use parse.int function? Parse.int function is used when we have a string value and we need integer value. So we use this parse.int value in that situation. Basically parseInt show the exact numeric value, not show the floating point number. So it's add two values as 20 and 10, not to 20.6 and 10.3. So output is always 30, not 30.9. So how to resolve this issue? So we have to resolve this issue using parse.float method. How to use of parsefloat function? To retain the decimal place, we use parsefloat function. So see the example, var a equal to parsefloat 20.5, so it's written 20.5. var b equal to parsefloat 10.4, so it's written 10 for 4. Now var c equal to a plus b, so it's written 10 plus 4 plus 20 plus 0.5, so it's written 30.9 as an output. What is nan and isNone function in JavaScript? Nan stands for not a number. In JavaScript, we have isNone function which determines whether a value is illegal number. This function returns true if the value is not a number and false if not. So see the example. How to concatenate string in JavaScript? There are two options, either use plus operator or concatenate method. So using plus operator, var string 1 equal to hello and string 2 is JavaScript. So result is hello JavaScript. Using concatenate method, so var string 1 has hello and var string 2 has JavaScript. So result string dot concatenate, it's written hello JavaScript. How to use single quotes inside a string in JavaScript? There are two options. Option 1, use single quotes inside a string whenever you need them. Option 2, use escape sequence character with single quote inside a string. So you see the example of both of these. What is the use of getElementById method in JavaScript? GetElementById method returns the element that has the id attribute with the specified value. It is used every time you want to manipulate or get info from an element of your document. It returns null if no element with the specified id exists. An id should be unique within a page. So in this below example, I have create a p tag with id my id and document.getElement with my id. I return hello world, and after that I change its color to red. So it's now show in red color. What is the use of getElementByClassName method in JavaScript? GetElementByClassName method returns a collection of all elements in the document with the specified class name. It is used when you want to manipulate or get info from an element or collection of elements of your document. So in this below example, I have two div tag. One div tag has class name my class, second div tag has class name my class, and also a second class include here color. So in first div tag it's written this is a paragraph normal, and second div tag returns with red color. So I use here both classes, my class and color. So it's written red color. This div written red color div. What is the use of getElementByName method in JavaScript? GetElementByName method returns a collection of all elements in the document with the specified name, the name attribute value of the element you want to access or manipulate. So in below example, I have two input type. So name of this both input type is animal. So document.getElementByName dot length, it returns 2. Basically we have used two input types, so it's written 2 as a output. What is the use of getElementByTagName method in JavaScript? This method is used to get all element in the document with the specified tag name, an HTML collection object representing a collection of elements with the specified tag name. So see the example, change the background color of all p element in the document. So I have changed all p tags with color red. So all are displayed in red color. Why declaration and assign variables separately in JavaScript? If you don't use the var keyword to declare a variable, and if you simply assign and create a variable, then it creates a global variable. Actually this is very dangerous. Think as a programmer. If you forgot to use the var keyword, then all your variables become global. So to avoid such things, lot of JavaScript developers use strict. What is the use strict in JavaScript? In JavaScript, use strict states that a code should be executed in a strict mode. This makes it easier to write good and secure JS code. So example, my var equal to 9, no error. My variable is work as a global variable. Now we use strict, so my var equal to 9, it's give error because my variable is not declared. In strict mode, you cannot use the variable without declaring them. Why we use strict mode in JavaScript? JavaScript is a loosely typed scripting language. It allows strictness of code using use strict. The strict mode in JavaScript does not allow following things: use of undefined variables, use of reverse keyword as variable or function name, duplicate property of a object, duplicate parameters of a function, assign value to read only property. Remember, you need to declare strict mode at the beginning of the program. If you declare strict mode below some code, it don't work. So in below example, we have first write console.log hello. After that I have used use strict. and after that x equal to 21, so it not give me any error, it's directly display 21 as an output. What are local variables in JavaScript? Local variables declared inside a function. These variables are available only inside that function. These variables are created when a function starts and deleted as soon as the function completes execution. What are global variables in JavaScript? Global variables are declared outside a function. All scripts and functions on the page can access these global variables. The lifetime of global variables starts with its declaration and is deleted when the page is closed. Is JavaScript is case sensitive language? Yes, JavaScript is case sensitive language. So we always write our methods and other things in lowercase. So see the example below. In small letter we write alert, so it's give me proper output. But when we write alert A as capital, so it's give me error. What is hoisting in JavaScript? Hoisting is the default behavior of JavaScript, where all the variables and function declaration are moved on top. This means that irrespective of whether the variable and functions are declared, they are moved on top of the scope. The scope can be both local and global. Example, my variable equal to 2, console.log my variable var my variable. So I have assigned the value before declaring. So the output is 2 even when the variable is declared after it is initialized. Explain hoisting with an example in JavaScript. Example, my function. So I call this function. Now I define the function my function console.log welcome. So output is welcome. So I have called this function before declaring it. Second example, hoisting takes place in the local scope as well. So function local scope x equal to 33 console.log x var x local scope, call local scope function. So output is 33 since the local variable x is hoisted inside the local scope. Variable initialization are not hoisted, only variable declaration are hoisted. Is it true? Yes, variable initialization are not hoisted, only variable declaration are hoisted. So see the example, var x console.log x equal to 23. So output is undefined since the initialization of x is not hoisted. So remember, to avoid hoisting, you can run JavaScript in strict mode by using use strict on top of the code. So see the example, use strict x equal to 23 var x gives an error since x is not declared at this moment. How to declare variable in JavaScript? In JavaScript we can declare variable in 3 different ways, like this: where price equal to 100, let is purchase equal to false, constant item equal to book. So we can declare variable using these 3 keywords, var, let and const. And also if name equal to Jack, so I have not declared any keyword here, so it's by default its behavior is it work as a var, so it work as a var name equal to Jack. How to use JavaScript variable in block scope? A block, that is code block, is a section of a code we define using a pair of curly braces. So let fname alex const zip 500067 where age 25 console.log f.name uncaught reference error since fname is not defined, console.log zip uncaught reference zip is not defined, console.log age it returns out 25. So remember, do not use the where keyword inside a block scope, always use let and constant instead. How to use JavaScript variable in functional scope? So let's see it with an example. So function my function let f name alex const zip 560089 where age 25. Now call my function. So now after that calling, now write console.log fname, so it returns uncaught reference, fname is not defined. Console.log zip, uncaught reference, zip is not defined. Console.log age, uncaught reference, age is not declared. The variable declared with var inside a function is not accessible outside of it. The keyword var has function scope. How to use JavaScript variable in global scope? Variables declared outside of any functions and blocks are global and are said to have global scope. This means you can access them from any part of the current JavaScript program. Let fname alex const zip 560089 var age 25 function my function console.log fname, it's written alex, console.log zip, it returns 560089, console.log age, it returns 25 as an output. My function console.log fname, it returns alex, console.log zip, it returns 560089, console.log age, it returns 25. So these variables are used inside a function as well as outside a function. So these keywords are used as a global variable. How can reassign a new variable to a variable in JavaScript? So let fname equal to alex const zip equal to 560089 var age equal to 25. Now reassigning the values, fname equal to bob, zip equal to 65457, age equal to 78. So fname it's written bob, zip equal to 56457, it returns uncaught type error. Why? Because assignment of constant variable is not applicable. Age 75, it returns 75 as an output. So remember this diagram. When we reassign a value with var type, it's allowed. Reassign value with let, it also allowed, but when we use with constant, it's written not allowed. What happened when you access a variable before declaring it? With var is non-static mode, the variable will have an undefined value. This means that a variable has been declared but has no value assigned. In strict mode, you will get a reference error that the variable is not declared. With let and constant, if you try to access a variable before declaring, you will always get reference error. What is the difference between var, let and const keyword in JavaScript? So scope, var is a variable declared within a var or in a function scope. Let is a variable declared as a let and in the block scope. Constant, variables declared as const are in the block scope. So const and let are block scope and var as a function scope. So hoisting is allowed in var but not allowed in let and const. Reassigning a value, so it is allowed in var, also in let but not applicable in const. Redeclaring of the variable, so it's applicable, it's allow in var but not allow in let and const. Now let's start logical and output based interview questions and answers. Why these questions? Nowadays, interviewer asked logical and output based interview questions and answers from candidates. I have prepared 35 plus logical and output based interview questions and answers in JavaScript for you. Please prepare these interview questions before go to any interview. I also describe each and every question in detail, why it's give this output. Now let's start question number 1. What is the output of this below programs? Var x equal to 2, var y equal to string 2, console.log x double equals y. It returns true. Why? because x and y both have value 2. Second example, console log x triple equal y, it's written false. Why? Because x and y both have value same, but its type are different. One is integer type, second is string type, so it's written false. Next example, var x equal to integer 2, var y equal to integer 2. Now console.log x double equals y, it's written true. Basically both have value same. And next, console log x triple equal y, it's also written true. Why? Because x and y both have same value and same data type, so it's written true. So remember that both are compare operator. Double equals is used to compare value, whereas triple equals is used to compare both values and types. What is the output of below program? Var x equal to 3, var y equal to string 3, by var z equal to integer 3. Console.log x plus z, it returns 6. Console.log x plus y, it returns 33. Why? When a number is added to a string, the number type is always converted to string type. So in second example, x plus y, it's written 33 because x is integer and y is string, so it's written 33. But first example, x is integer and z is integer, so it's directly add two numbers and return 6 as an output. Next example, var x equal to 3, var y equal to items. So console.log x plus y, it returns 3 items. Why? Because 3 is integer type and items is string type, so it is a concatenation of integer and string type, so it's written 3 items as an output. What is the output of below programs? So var x equal to 3, var y equal to string 3, console.log x minus 1 y, it returns 0. Why? Basically var y is string type, it convert to number type, and 3 minus 3, so it's written 0. Next example, var x equal to 3, var y equal to items. Now console.log x minus y, it's written nan. Why? Because variable y is string type, is unable to convert to number type, so it's written nan. Next example, var x equal to 3, var y equal to string 3, console.log x into y, it's give 9. Why 9? Because the variable y string type is converted to numeric type, so x into y means 3 into 3, it's written 9 as an output. Next example, var x equal to 3, var y equal to items. Now console.log x multiply y, it returns nan. Why? Because variable y string type is unable to convert to number type, that's why it's written nan as an output. Next example, var x equal to 3, var y equal to string 3. So console.log x divide y, it returns y. Why? Because x is integer type and y is string type, so it's converted to numeric type, so 3 divide 3, it's written 1. Next example, var x equal to 3, var y equal to items. Console.log x divide y, it returns nan. Since the variable y is string type, it is unable to convert to a number type, so it's written nan as an output. What is the output of below program? So console.log is nan hello, console.log is nan 345. So console.log is nan hello, it returns true since hello is a string type. Console.log is nan 345, it returns false since 345 is a number. Console.log is nan string 1, it returns false since 1 is converted to number type, that is 1. Console.log is nan true, it returns false since true converted to number type result in 1, number type convert to 1, so it is a number, so it returns false. Console.log is nan false, it returns false. Why? Because returns false since false converted to number type, its result is 0, so it is a number type, so it's returned false as an output. Console.log is nan undefined, it returns true. To check if a value is not a number, we use isNan function. Remember that isNan function converts the given value to a number type and then equates to nan. What is the output of below program? Var a equal to 23, var a equal to hello world, var a equal to 1, triple equal to string 1, console.log a. So it's returned false. Why? Since JavaScript is loosely typed language, you say also it is a dynamic type language. So variables in JavaScript are not associated with any type. A variable can hold the value of any data type. For example, a variable that is assigned a number type can be converted to string type. Finally, set the boolean value false. Next question. What is the output of below program? Var x equal to 220, var y equal to hello, var z equal to undefined. Console.log x or y. It returns 220 since the first value is true. Console.log x or z. It returns 220 since the first value is true. Console.log x and y. It returns hello since both the values are true. Console.log y and z, it returns undefined since the second value is false. Remember that in OR operator, if the first value is true, then the first value is returned, otherwise second value returned. In AND operator, if both the values are true, then second value is returned. If the first value is false, then the first value is returned, or if the second value is false, then the second value is returned. Next question. What is the output of below program? Var x equal to undefined, var y equal to hello, var z equal to 220. Console.log x or y. It returns hello since the first value is false. Console.log x or z returns 220 since the first value is false. Console.log x and y, it returns undefined since the first value is false. Console.log y and z, it returns 220 since both values return true. Remember that when we use OR operator, if the first value is true, then the first value is returned, otherwise second value gets returned. AND operator, if both the values are true, second value is returned. If the first value is false, then the first value is returned, or if the second value is false, then the second value is returned. What is the output of below program and why? Var num equal to 8, var num equal to 10. Console.log num, it returns 10. Why? Because with the var keyword you can declare multiple variable with the same name. The variable will then hold the latest value always. Next question. What is the output of below program? Function say hi, console.log name, console.log age, var name equal to unmol, let age equal to 20, call say hi. The answer is undefined and reference error. Why? The variable name gets hoisted. Memory space is set up during the creation phase with the default value of undefined. Variables with the let keyword and constant are hoisted. They must declare initialize before use. When we try to access the variable before they are declared, JavaScript throw a reference error. So we get the reference error here. Next question. What is the output of below function? Function get age 21 console.log age. Get age. It returns 21. Why? Since the property age would have got added to the global object, so it's written 21 as an output. Next question. What is the output of below program? Function get age use strict age equal to 21 console.log age. Get age. It returns reference error. Why? Because with use strict you can make sure that you don't accidentally declare global variables. We never declare a variable age, and since we use strict, it will throw a reference error. Next question. What is the output of below program? Console.log not unmol. It returns false. Why? The string unmol is a true value. The above expression asking is this true value is false. So this returns false. Next, console.log unary operator true. It returns 1. Console.log not unmol. It returns false. Why? Because the unary plus tries to convert an operand to a number. True is 1. The string unmol is true value. The above expression asking is the true value is false. This returns a false. So unary true returns 1 and not unmol it returns false. Next, console.log plus 100. It returns 100. Console.log not unmol. It returns false. Next question. What is the output of below program? Let number equal to 0. Console.log number plus plus. Console.log plus plus number. Console.log number. So it returns first 0, then 2, then again 2. Why? The prefix unary operator plus plus return the value. This returns 0. First console.log return 0. Increments the value number is now 1. The prefix unary operator plus plus increments the value number is now 2. So return the value, this return 2. So second and third both return 2 as an output. What is the output of below program? Function sum a b return console log a plus b sum 1 string true. It returns 12. Why? JavaScript is a dynamic type language. In this example, during the addition of a numeric type 1 and a string type 2, the number is tried as a string. We can concatenate string 1 plus 2, which returns 12 as an output. What is the output of below program? Function let I equal to 1, I less than 5, I plus plus. If I triple equals 3, continue console.log I. It returns 1, 2, 4. Why? Why it is written 1, 2, 4? Because the continue statement skips an iteration if the certain condition return true. So it's written 1, 2, 4 as an output. What is the output of below program? Function high return arrow 0. Console.log type of high. Answer, it returns number. Because this high function returns the returned value of the immediate invoked function expression. This function returns 0, which is the type number. So its output is number. Next question. What is the output of below program? Function high return arrow function unmol. Console.log type of high. The output is string. Why it's a string? Because the high function returns the return value of the immediate invoke function expression. This function returns unmol, which is a type string, so its output is string. What is the output of below program? Console.log type of 1. Answer is string. Why string? Because type of 1 return number, which is string, and again the type of number, which is string, so it's written string as an output. Next, console.log not null, it returns false. Console.log not empty, it returns false. Console.log not 1, it returns true. So why it's written this? So basically null is false, so not null return true and not true return false. So first is answer is false. Second, empty is false and not empty return true, and not true returns false. So second it returns false. 1 is true and not 1 returns false, and not false return true. So third returns true as an output. What is the output of console.log spread operator string unmol? So answer is it returns a single character with all complete name, a, then n, that m, that o, then o, l. So a string is an iterable. The spread operator maps every character of an iterable to one element. So output is a, n, m, o, l as an output. What is the output of below program? Console.log 3 plus 4 plus string 5. The output is 75 as an string. Why its output is 75 as a string? Because 3 is integer type, 4 is integer type. So 3 plus 4 returns 7. Now 7 is integer and 5 is string. So the operation is concatenation. So 7 plus 5 returns 75 as an string value. Next question, var a equal to 10, var b equal to a, b equal to 20, console.log a, console.log b. So console.log a return 10 and console.log b return 20. Now var a equal to string unmol and var b equal to a, b equal to string, console.log a it return unmol, console.log b it returns string as an output. Remember that var is a dynamic type variable. It holds latest value of any type. What is the output of below program? Function check age data. If data triples equals age 18, console.log adult. Else if data double equals age 18, console.log still an adult. Else console.log not qualified. Check age 18. So the output is not qualified. Why? The two objects that we are comparing have different location in memory to check equality. This is why both age 18 triples equals age 18 and age 18 double equals age 18 returns false. So output is not qualified. Next question, what is the output of below program? Let person name equal to unmol, constant member person equal to null, console.log members. It returns output name equal to unmol. So why? We are only modifying the value of the person variable and not the first element in the array. Since that element has a different copy or reference to the object, the first element in member still hold its reference to the original object. When we log the members array, the first element still hold the value of the object which gets logged. So the output is name unmol. What is the output of below program? Console.log blank array plus blank array. console.log array1 plus blank array, console.log array1 plus string abc, console.log array123 plus 134. So first answer is blank, second answer is string 1, third answer is 1 abc, fourth answer is 1, 2, 31, 3, 4. Why it's written this? Basically string basically empty plus empty, return empty. So first return empty, second string 1 plus empty, it return string 1, third string 1 plus string abc, so it's written 1 abc, fourth string 1, 2, 3 plus string 1, 3 plus 4, it returns 1, 2, 31, 3, 4 as an output. Next question, what is the output of below program? Constant answer 1 equal to nan, triple equals nan, constant answer 2 equal to obj.is nan, nan, console.log answer 1, answer 2, it returns false, true. Why? Basically nan is a unique value, so it fails to equality check, but it is the same object, so object.is return true. So final output is false, true. Next question, what is the output of below program? Var a equal to 3, var b equal to a9, b plus plus a, console.log a plus b dot a plus b dot b. Answer is 18. Why 18? Prefix operator increment the number and then returns it. So expression will be evaluated as 4 plus 9 plus 5 equal to 18. So 18 is a output of our program. What is the output of below program? Function var a equal to b equal to 3, console.log a, console.log b. So console.log a return referential error since a is not defined. Var a equal to b equal to 3 is actually shorthand for b equal to 3, var a equal to b. A is local variable, b is global variable. So a is written the referential error, and if we debug and go to b, so b return the 3 as an output. Next question, what is the output of below program? Function var a equal to b equal to 3, console.log type of a not equal undefined, console.log type b not equal undefined. So first console return false, second console return true, and third console.log b it return 3. So why it's written this? Basically a is local variable, b is global variable, so it return first return false, second return true, and third return 3 as an output. Next question, what is the output of below program? Console.log 1 plus string 2 plus string 2, it returns 122. Console.log 1 plus string 2 plus string 2, it return 32. Why? Basically 1 is numeric and 2 is added with unary operator, so 2 plus 1 is 3. So now string 3 plus string 2, so it returns 32 as an output. Next, console.log 1 plus minus string 1 plus string 2, so 1 plus string minus 1, it returns 0. and now string 0 plus string 2, so it's written 02 as an string. Next, console.log plus string 1 plus 1 as a string plus string 2, so plus 1 plus string 1, it written 1 plus string 1, so it's written 11. Now string 11 plus string 2, it written 112, so 112 as an output. Next, console.log string A minus string B plus string 2, so string A minus string B, it written nan, plus string 2, it's written, so output is nan 2 as an string type. Next, console.log string A minus string B plus 2, so A is string and B is string, so subtract these two, so it's written nan, plus 2 as a integer type, so it's written nan as an output. Thanks my dear friends for watching this entire video. Hope you have enjoyed with this video. Please feel free to comment if you have any query or question in your mind. I will give you answer as soon as possible. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon for more latest videos. All the best. Thank you very much. Bye bye.